So we're trying to stretch it a little. I'm looking at Simone. Nishta Zoe? Okay, not yet. So I was going to explain this and that stuff, remembering where you come from. So some people are taught to do it this way. They take light from themselves and pass it to others. And other people do this. They take light from others and pass it to themselves. So whatever you feel like doing, that is what you do with candlelighting. You're not calling any ghosts or anything weird, because everybody wants to look, why are we doing this? And they're like, well, that's where it comes from. But not here, so who are we asking? Ruthie to do it? Ruthie, will you light candles for us? And then we'll wait, maybe they'll come in for the next thing, right?
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
As
Shalom.
these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle. Go ahead. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvot David tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. So have a seat. We're on page 130 with L'chune Ranena. So from there we go straight into Orzaru al Tzadik on page 132.
Orzaru al Tzadik, u'yishvei simcha.
So Psalm 29, it's actually interesting. If you would open Genesis, it's Bereshit bara Elohim. In the beginning, God created, not by movement, but by voice. God created by speaking the world into being. And Psalm 29 talks about that. The voice of God is power, majesty. It can break the cedars of Lebanon. And it can make people jump and skip, including oxen and goats. So it has great power, and with great power also comes an ability to recognize it and sing to it. So you've heard me do Havul Adonai, so if you know it, just join in. Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai kavod va'oz, Havul Adonai kavod shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod, Hirim Adonai al mayim, al mayim, al mayim rabim, al mayim, al mayim, al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai b'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Mishaber Adonai et har zalvanon, Vayerkrem kemo egel Levanon, V'Sirion kemo, 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 kemo ven re'emim, kemo, 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 kemo ven re'emim. Kol Adonai chotzev lahavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yocholel hayalot, vayechesov ye'arot, uvechalo, kulo merkavot, kulo, 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 kulo merkavot, kulo, 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 kulo merkavot. Adonai levabul yashav, vayeshev Adonai melech leolam. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. L'chadudi on page 138.
לחדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Let's all go together.
לחדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו
was just remembering that in my congregation in New York, we were in the village. So we had all sorts of interesting people who would come in right at HHD. But I think the most wonderful event we had is when we opened the door for HHD and 4 gay men in drag showed up. And I still remember my ladies in front looked at me and they say, Rabbi, what do we say? I said, well, they're wearing real Chanel suits. Just compliment them on their outfits. And so on occasion I see people walking in. It makes me think of that because it was quite an event. And they came back many, many years after just like themselves, but it was just 4 Marilyn Monroes who came in. It was just wonderful. All right, we're on page 140. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ולנבל, עלי היגיון כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן, מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. It's one of my favorite sentences. It says, מה רבו מעשיך עולם, what have you created, God? With what wisdom have you made everything yours? And then by making it yours, also ours. So it's one of my favorite sentences. Or Zarua. Oh no, Sadiq Katamar. Sorry, my mistake. Not paying attention.
צדיק קטמר יפרח יפרח, צדיק קטמר יפרח, כרס בלבנון יזכה, כרס בלבנון יזכה, כרס בלבנון יזכה, יזכה. כרס בלבנון יזכה, כרס בלבנון יזכה, כרס בלבנון יזכה. Shtulim bevet Adonai, shtulim bevet Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu, bechatzrot Eloheinu, bechatzrot Eloheinu, yafrichu, bechatzrot Eloheinu, bechatzrot Eloheinu, bechatzrot Eloheinu. Od jenuvun meseba, od jenuvun meseba, deshenim merananim, deshenim merananim, deshenim merananim, iu, deshenim merananim, deshenim merananim, deshenim merananim. Hagit ki yashar Adonai, hagit ki yashar Adonai, Turi velo avlatavo, 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 Turi velo.
So 142, what I've been doing the last couple of weeks, join in if you remember it. It's very simple, it's a very simple melody because the rabbi is no musician. So if I can sing it, that means you can sing it too. Shalom Aleichem, Malchei Hasharet, Malchei Elyon, Malchei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Leshalom, Malchei Hashalom, Malchei Elyon, Malchei Elyon, Melech, Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Barchoni Leshalom. I can't hear you, מלאכי עליון, מלכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, מלכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא. חצי קדיש 144. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, וילמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ויומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו, יהי שמי רבה מרח לעמלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו, Amen. Would you please stay standing for the Baruch? I don't know who's opening the ark. Somebody has to open the ark. Peter, will you open the ark for us? Have a seat. We're on page 148 with a new version of Ma'ariv Aravim. I'm looking forward to it.
Put
do the English at the top of the page of 149. I think it picks up the Hebrew rhythm very nicely. Praise to you, eternal our God, from whom this evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide, and your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night, and as heaven spans into infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, eternal our God, from whom this evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We're on page 150, Ahavat Olam. So on page 151, the second reading, let me hear you. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Would you please rise for the Shema? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Have a seat. We continue with the Haftarah. If you have a melody, maybe you can teach me yours. I only know the one that I was raised with, but follow along. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. 156. אמת ואמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. And in the English. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number and marvels beyond count, and you give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. And when your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moshe, Miriam, and Aaron, and all of Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously in the sounds of the Michamocha.
Michamocha, Baelim Adonai, Michamocha, Neder Bakodesh. No Atilot Osefele, no Atilot Osefele. Malchutech ra'u anecha, bokei hayom, lifnei Moshe uMiriam, zeli anu ve'ameru. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha neder bakodesh. No Tehilot Osefele, no Tehilot Osefele. ונאמר כי פדה את יעקב וגולו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. I was wondering what you thought of this reading. I don't always like what's in the book because I don't always think it reflects the Hebrew or talks about what the prayer is about, but I was kind of struck this morning with this. Where will I find you if not in the shelves of the heart, in the cupboards of my bones, and in the spiraling stairways of my fingertips? Where will I find you if not in the light that gathers us each morning in its golden net, or in the light of the Shabbat candles, sturdy as the columns of your house? Each day I'm called to recreate your house with everything at my disposal, a never-ending stairway of righteousness and cupboards full of good deeds, shelf upon shelf of loving kindness. It has nothing to do with the Michamocha, but I thought it's an interesting poem, and I thought it was kind of a nice way of talking about the daily business of prayer and where you might be able to find it. We're on page 160 with the Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom This is one of my favorite prayers because the Hebrew is very gentle and it's a very tender prayer. It talks about gathering us in and giving us the ability, hopefully, to go to sleep peacefully at night, and then give us the courage, because sometimes that's what it takes, to get up in the morning, if not completely renewed, at least courageous to face another day, another week, no matter what obstacles are in front of us. And then it says, spread your, I call it a blanket, because a shelter, I always say, doesn't feel good, but spread over is your blanket of peace, right? So let's read the reading on page 161, the second one, because I think that comes closest to the tenderness of the prayer itself. Give us a place to rest, eternal our God. Bring us into shelter, into the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth, and prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your blanket of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'el kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. V'shamru on page 162.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בן יובל בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. היא ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני
את השמיים.
את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי, וביום השביעי, שבת וינפש, שבת
וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We continue with the Amidah on page 164. I'd like to call Helen and David Alexander to come open the ark for us. Adonai Sefatai Tiftachu Fi Yagi Tilatecha. Eternal God, open up our lips that our mouths may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכה חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שריו. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך? מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום ילדוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש, אתה קידשת את יום השביעי לשמך. So here are the moments that you can take some quiet, and you hear opening and closing blessings, so you can hear where we are. כי הטוב בתורתך, יחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכל אלוהים היו משווים לך תורה אשר עשה. אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו מאבותינו, רצי מנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, סברינו בתורך. באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, ינוחו ישראל מקדשך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. רצה אדוני אלוהינו ממך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל. שפוך רוחך עלינו, ותחזינו עינינו בשועל ציון ברחמים. ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר שכינתו לציון, מודים אנחנו לך. שאתה
כולם יתברך ויתחומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד.
האל ישועתנו עזרתנו סלע, ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך לך להודות. שלום רב על ישראל, עמך תשים לעולם, כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. אלוהי נצור לשוני מרע ושפתי מדבר מרמם. פתח ליבי בתורתך ומצוותיך תרדוף נפשי. עושה שלום אל מואב יעשה שלום עלינו על כל ישראל אמרו אמן.
שלום רב.
שלום רב
על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם.
כי אתה הוא מלך אדון
לכל השלום
לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב
על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם.
שלום רב
על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם.
טוב בעיניך לברך
את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך
תשים לעולם.
תשים לעולם.
תשים לעולם.
And shall we go straight into Osir Shalom? And I want to hear you because I know you know this one.
עושה
שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה
שלום במרומיו
הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
So I'm going to tell you again, next week I'm going to stop and then you're going to sing it, because if I can sing it, Jessica is the musician, I'm not, so if I can do it, you can do it. Shall we do that one more time? Because I really want to hear him sing tonight. Can we do one more time? We'll say shalom. I want to hear you, people. I can hear myself 100 times a day. Nu, yalla.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו.
I don't hear you.
כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Keep going.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Better. Bester wie bezorgd auf Jiddisch. Kann noch ein bisschen hecher sein, but we work on it. All right, so at this point in the service, we take a moment to think about all those people within the community and those on the outside who might need an extra prayer. It could be because they're physically not well. It could also be because they're emotionally not doing well. If you have the name of such a person, this is the moment to call it out now. We'll start from this part of the sanctuary to here. Go ahead. Okay. Irvin, yes. Okay. Go ahead.
מי שרק לאבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. מי שברא אמותינו מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
So people often ask me whether I believe that a Misha Berach makes a difference, and I would say yes, it does. It might not cure a person, but it might heal them, simply because we put their names out, sometimes without them knowing that we are praying for them. And I'm not the only one. There are actually many medical journals that have now given us plenty of proof that if we pray for someone's well-being, physically or mentally, that it makes a difference. So even if it feels a little awkward sometimes, keep doing it, because it makes a difference to them and it makes a difference to us. Anyway, so there is a famous story about the people in the shtetl of Nemirov who really believed that their Rabbi Yisrael of Nemirov was a saint, so pious that the day before Rosh Hashanah he would actually ascend to heaven. And one day, an Apikoros, a doubter, or an atheist, very often atheists are very intelligent, but this one, perhaps not so much, refused to believe it. And he hid under the rabbi's bed in the night, that very night when the rabbi was supposed to depart for the heavenly realm. And the next morning the rabbi arose, donned the clothing of a peasant laborer, and set out to the forest. And the Apicorus secretly followed. And in the forest, Rabbi Yisrael spent the entire day chopping wood, and late in the afternoon, he loaded it on his shoulders and trudged back, stopping at a hut in the middle of the town's forest. And he knocked on the door and he said, "I have firewood for sale." And a weak voice of an old lady called, "I have no money for wood, and I have no strength to build the fire." But the rabbi, in his disguise, had already entered. And he said, "Oh, you'll pay me later." He built the fire, and he straightened the room, and he tended to this old woman. And when he was done, he returned home to prepare for the holiday. And as for the Apicorus, the doubter, and when people boasted to him that their Rabbi Yisrael, on the day before Rosh Hashanah, ascended to heaven, he smiled and he said, "Azoi min hashamayim oip nicht hecher," so to heaven, perhaps even higher. It's a very famous story by Peretz. It's a story that in all of its poignancy is, of course, about the ability to see, to recognize true belief and action, and then to have the courage to recognize a friend and an ally, even if they might be dressed in the garb of the other, the enemy, and the unknown. We do not find characters like these only in the works of Peretz or Shalom Aleichem. Just open our Torah and you will find the pages peppered with them, presented in the guise of visitors and angels, snakes, and yes, even donkeys. So allow me to take you to the portion of this week, Balak. I think that the people who wrote Shrek might have known this Torah portion because it's all about a talking donkey. So it's the story of Bilam and his donkey. Balak, the king of Moab, asks Bilam, a very famous pagan prophet, to come and curse the Israelites. And this seer is sent, but is told by God that he must say only what God commands, but he then proceeds to ignore all of this. And the Almighty now decides to send an invisible messenger whom only the donkey can see. So, versteht sich, here you have Bilam, a prophet, furiously beating his donkey when it stops on the road. And yet the animal is the only one in this story with clarity of vision and communication. And this is what it says. Bilam was riding on his donkey when the animal caught sight of the angel of God standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. Now, is that not a contradiction in terms? Here we have an angel of God with a sword. Even the donkey must have wondered what kind of creature this was blocking his way. Was it a friend? Was it an ally? Was it a messenger of danger? Now, we have enough proof from all of our texts to expect an angel to present itself as a messenger of good news and comfort. We all remember about the angel who appeared to Hagar in the desert, crying out of fear to lose her son, right? It says, "Do not touch the boy." And we can all remember the thundering voice of the angel that calls out to Abraham not to kill Isaac. So how are we to understand a creature described as an angel of God to be an adversary? Now, Rashi, one of my favorite rabbis, like me, he liked a glass of wine. He was actually a wine grower. But he answers this question by describing this creature as a malach shel rachamim, an angel of mercy, who knew that Bilam was asked not to go on this mission, not to curse the Israelites. And so the angel came on a mission of mercy to prevent Bilam from cursing himself. And what happens is that every time he wants to curse the Israelites, out comes a blessing. And one of them you really know, Matovu Olecha Yaakov, how goodly are your tents. That came out of the mouth of Bilam. So still, an angel of mercy. When I think of an angel of mercy, I think of Mother Teresa, or of a healer doing God's work at great personal cost, or I think of a medical team volunteering their time to care for refugees in a war-ridden country. But a Star Trek humanoid figure blocking the way, beaming his unforbidden sword, commanding us to obedience with the threat of danger? Really? An angel of mercy? But this is not the first time that we encounter an angel in the guise of a threatening form. The most famous example that we have is when we look at Yehoshua, when they are about to be ready to celebrate the first Pesach in the land of Israel. And this is what it says in the text. And so it came to pass, as Joshua was by Jericho, that he raised his eyes and looked. And there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went to him and said to him, "Are you for us or for our enemies?" And he said, "No, I am the captain of the hosts of God. I have now come." And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and bowed down and said to him, "What have you to say to your servant?" And the captain of the host of God said, "Remove your shoe from your foot, for the place on which you stand is holy." And Joshua did so. It's the very same angel. It has a striking similarity. It's the same angel figure, an awe-inspiring man with a weapon in his hand. And yet, with a different reaction his appearance evokes. Bilam is too busy to fight against what his true God-required tasks should be. He's unable even to see the angel, and he struggles against its very presence. And he beats and he curses his donkey, who has better eyesight than his master, to understand and that he cannot see the trap that he's caught in. And it's only gradually that he's able to make sense of the angel's mission. And consequently, Bilam is able to stop himself from carrying out Balak's wishes to curse Israel. But think about Yehoshua. Joshua immediately understands what he is encountering, and he is able to recognize the friend in the shape of an enemy. Joshua, following God's commands, has no problem with his vision at all, and clearly sees that this threatening apparition may well be a God sent. And he asks directly, "Are you a friend or are you a foe?" And then he waits. He opens himself up to the message, which is very clear and simple. Pay attention. The ground on which you stand is holy. The work you will do is holy and is not meant for your own glory. So what a wonderful portrait of the foe as a friend in spiritual life. I think it's hard enough to recognize those angels that cross our paths in real life, in ordinary clothing, without halos. It is harder still to recognize those angels that show up in anger, in threat, and in pain as messengers of God. I remember that when someone once compared my smile to that being of an angel, and I felt rather embarrassed by this, and I quickly changed the topic, not knowing what to do with that remark. But I have since learned about so-called real-life angels. I will always be grateful to friends who sometimes have put large mirrors in front of me, forcing to look at myself honestly at times when I may have wished to have run from life's questions. I also remember congregants and students who showed me kindness and laughter, incredible wisdom and insight. All of those experiences have taught me that life is filled with so-called angels. And yet still, these are relatively easy to recognize because we most of the time have friends who are friendly and benevolent. But what are we to do with the stranger in the middle of the road wielding a sword? How can we recognize those figures as angels of mercy? What are we to do with a colleague or a boss who is a source of indignity? Or that family member that pushes our buttons every Pesach and every Shabbat and returns us to a state of childlike vulnerability? Is there any way that we could recognize these foes as God sent? I think, to me at least, the answer lies in our own willingness and ability to see. Bilam, trapped in his own false prophecy and fear of God, could not see beyond his own beast of burden. He couldn't even for a moment consider the possibility that this roadblock was a friend and a guide to send him, to direct him away from his own misguided plans and ideas. Joshua, with clear vision, knew what question to ask. Could this dangerous situation be one to teach me? Could it be a road sign or a guide to lead it on my way? So I think, from my own experience, at times we can all be Bilam, and sometimes we are blessed to have the ability to be Joshua, but we have to be able to open our eyes and then have the courage to truly see. Shabbat Shalom. So, we are continuing with the Aleinu. Oh no, we have lots of other things to do. Peter, you have things to do tonight. I'm going to sit down. I don't have to talk for a minute. Great. Go ahead. No, the presentation tomorrow is after all the presentations. Yes. And then we could go from there into the Aleinu.
Good evening, everybody. I asked Erwin Manoim to do a lovely talk for David and Helen and family, but unfortunately he is in hospital. He had to go for a procedure, which in fact took place this afternoon. So what I'm going to tell you is from Erwin. And it's an honor for me to wish a fond farewell to Helen and David, Samuel and Rachel Alexander. Samuel and Rachel may not know this, but their Alexander family can lay claim to certain aristocratic lineage. Via their grandmother, they can trace back to 1666 to an aristocratic Sephardic family called de Piaba, who had fled Portugal to England, and who over the next 400 years bred a menagerie of venerable rabbis. This rabbi proliferating has persisted to the present day, when the family has two venerable rabbis, Rabbi Greg and Andy, sharing the same household. And let me not stop at rabbis. The late Carol Alexander, mother of David, made history here as the first woman to chair South African congregation 38 years ago, when this shul was, believe it or not, the largest congregation, Orthodox or Reformed, in Southern Africa. It's incredible. In those days, the congregation was so large that being the chair was almost a full-time job. And Carol had her own office on the premises. And she was not alone. David's father, the late Peter Alexander, was for decades the treasurer, not just of this shul, but of all the Johannesburg Reformed congregations, 5 of them at the time. But it's to Helen and David, Sam and Rachel, that we bid farewell tonight. Their attempts to flee from us have been entangled in red tape, similar to the travails of Pip, the rabbi's dog. It seems that for years no American official could be begged, bribed, or bullied into allowing these African migrants in, and not even appeals to conscience of most senior Jewish senator had much effect. Until a fortnight ago, when these much-sought green cards arrived. To blame the hijacking of this family away from us falls squarely upon David. Despite the button-down appearance and tendency to wear rugby jerseys, he is what they call in the banking circles a serial entrepreneur. The largest independent music publisher in Africa. And despite being marooned against his will in load-shedded Johannesburg, he's already a sought-after major name in American music. This is why the family destination is not New York City, but Atlanta, Georgia, a town which, so Wikipedia tells me, is the capital of hip-hop, R&B, indie rock, country, and blues. On Helen's side, the Tucker family, Michael and Susan, they were machers here in the Reform movement for a long time, before making Aliyah many years ago. Leonard Singer may correct me on this, but I believe that it was Michael Tucker who drew the first original constitution for the shul. Helen is one of our few congregants who, to be effortlessly fluent in Hebrew, correct accent and all, she also has a splendid singing voice, which has made her an essential contributor to services, particularly when reading the Megillat Esther on Purim, with all the dramatic pauses and flourishes necessary to excite the children into shouting down the name of Haman. The Alexanders have always been serious about their commitments to this congregation, regulars who always inhabited the same seats halfway down, I don't know what happened tonight, halfway down the middle aisle. So although we generally don't like to wish long-time members well when they depart, because this only encourages more of such bad behavior, we make it an exception here and wish the Alexanders all the best. They will most certainly be sorely missed, and we will hope that they will keep in touch and return on regular visits. Thank you. Okay, now Lee is going to add her own touch to this.
Right. Evening, everyone. Excuse the croakiness. I pulled myself out of bed to see Helen and David. I'm so sorry. I didn't make another farewell, but I made a point of being here tonight. So today we gather with mixed emotions as we bid farewell to our dear friends David and Helen and their wonderful kiddies, Sam and Ray. The Alexanders have been a cornerstone of our community for many years, and their departure to Atlanta leaves a void that will be hard to fill. For me personally, like David and Helen have been very much part of my safe space at Beiteman over many years. I first met David and Helen back in the 80s at Maganim, which has morphed into what we know today as Netze. Many a December holiday filled with campfires, songs, good friends, and community that have defined us today as progressive Jews. Even then, their passion for community, kindness, and dedication was evident. Over the years, we have seen them grow, not just as individuals, but as a family that is deeply rooted in the values of our progressive shul, Beiteman. Their involvement, commitment, and generosity have enriched our community in countless ways. David and Helen, your contributions have been immense. From organizing events to participating in initiatives, you have always stepped up with enthusiasm and generosity. Your presence has brought warmth and spirit to Beiteman, making it a better place for all of us. I especially want to thank you for helping us with Aaron's bar mitzvah just after COVID. The passion you have for your Jewish way of life is contagious, and that's not a COVID joke. And your services always bring joy and happiness to all who attend. Your support during that time meant the world to us, and kept me from completely losing my mind. David, your knowledge of music and art rivals that of your passion for Springbok rugby. You've become a world expert in your field, and I'm sure that will continue on US shores. As for Springbok rugby, for you and Sam, they have this thing called cable, which is TV, thousands of channels available. I'm sure you'll find one that shows the games. Helen, your love for everything Israeli, especially your beautiful singing and Israeli dancing, will always make me smile. Your energy has been a vibrant thread in the fabric of our community, and your dance moves had definitely set a high bar at our gatherings. Sam, where's Sam? You've been a great friend to Aaron, and it's been wonderful watching the two of you grow together on Friday evenings, and that now includes Adam. So Aaron and Adam, you need to keep this going. And then also Sam spending Lamud with Aaron. We've now booked to go back a second time. Rachel, I will always remember how you used to admire my manicures. Those tables have turned, and now I find myself admiring your beautiful nails. Who knew you'd one day end up teaching me about the latest nail trends? I'm still waiting for you to open your own salon. I think it's going to be called Ray Ray Nails, so I can get family and friend discounts. Finally, as closing, I still can't believe you're packing up your 5-meter warrior head statue from your front lawn here and transplanting it to your front lawn in Atlanta. Your new neighbors are going to love you. African witchcraft spirits and all. Your house is going to be that cool house on Halloween that all the kids are going to be scared of. Seriously, as you embark on this new journey in Atlanta, know that you take a part of us with you. We are grateful for the memories we've shared and the impact you've had on our lives. While we will miss you dearly, we are also excited for the new adventures and opportunities that await you, and we're expecting plenty of invites to Atlanta to sample the Southern cuisine. But I hear the peach cobbler is to die for. David, Helen, Sam, and Ray, may your new home be filled with love, laughter, and happiness. Remember that you always have a home here with us at Beit Emmanuel, and we look forward to the times when our paths will cross again. We promise to only slightly guilt trip you into visiting frequently, just a little Jewish guilt. You know how it is. If we all had our wine, I'd say please join me in raising a toast and wishing the Alexanders all the best. You will be missed.
Can I, at this point, ask Helen and Dave to come up here? You can't leave Beit Emmanuel without a certificate. So I'm going to read what it says here. This certificate is presented to Helen and David Alexander, and of course you guys, as a token of appreciation by the entire Beit Emmanuel congregation of Johannesburg, the Management Committee and the Board of Guardians, in appreciation for your commitment and contribution to the progressive Jewish community during your 11 years of membership at Beit Emmanuel. You will be greatly missed. Here we go. Something to take home. Okay, I'll give it to you. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Pleasure.
We do the Alenu, and then we do the in memoriam. So the Alenu, and then you can do the...
Okay.
Yeah? Would you please rise for the Alenu, and I'm going to ask Ray and Sam to come back and open the art for us.
לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ויאמר יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
So I'm just going to simply say that I will come and visit you in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm already having lots of rabbis looking forward to checking you out. And I just don't like the fact that as I come in, you leave, because I think we have a lot in common, but we'll continue that online and in life as well. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and those that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brothers and sisters walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give to them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than mere words or sounds. So look for me in the people I've known and loved. And if you can't give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not on your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, and by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of those who need to be free. Love does not die. We people do. So when all that is left of me is love, quite simply, give me away. We remember with love all those who were dear to us and have died. There were our parents, our siblings, our children, our spouses, our partners, our friends, and our colleagues. We lived with all of these people. We shared moments of great joy and celebration, and also moments of sadness. And as we hold all of those memories, the bitter ones together with the sweet, we give thanks for their legacy of wisdom and courage and tradition, and most of all for love. And tonight we remember.
It is with great sadness that we advise of the passing of former member Barbara Golden, who moved to Australia in April 23. Her brother Wally Blomberg informed us that she had passed away from cancer in March this year. Barbara was a daughter of Lydia Blomberg, a long-standing member of Beiteman. Our condolences to Wally and other surviving family members. The memorial service of Michael Richman will be held this Sunday, the 21st, at 2 o'clock in the main shul. This week, we remember the following yard sites. Joel Bolsham, father of Rachel Bolsham. Michael Brooks, friend of Ben and Tyler Bache. Michael Delaloy, mother of Carolyn Smolin. Bocky Golden, father of Neville Golden. Wolf Josselson, father of Beatrice Josselson. Hannah Kanar, mother of Avi Kanar. Ada Pumstein, mother of Frida Applebaum. George Shee, grandfather of Karen Stewart. Selwyn Shapiro, brother of Aubrey Shapiro. And Edna Schmidt, mother of Julian Adler. May their memory be for a blessing.
So we're on page 598. If there's anybody in the first 11 months of mourning, if you're comfortable, please stand up front with me. As I explained the other week, we stand together as progressive Jews for Kaddish, but I think we also sometimes need to be aware of who the people are in the community who might be in mourning, so we can also extend our hearts and our souls to them at the time that they most need it. Anybody in the first 11 months? Okay, then we'll go on page 598 for Kaddish. Would you please rise? יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, וילמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון ובימי חון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו, יהי שמי רבה מרח ללמלמי אלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו, יהי שלמה רבה משמיה וחיים, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. And may the source of peace send peace to you who are in mourning and to all of you who are remembering. And let us say amen. Have a seat, please. I'm not sure if we have the basket with chocolates. Russell, are they hiding somewhere? Are there any children here so we can bless you? Where are you? Where are you hiding out? Hey, little one, come over here. In pink, no less. What do you got there? A bag? Bring it up. Oh, you left yours in the car. Okay, come up. Can I borrow that bag? I don't think I have a pink one. I would like, can I borrow it? Can I take it home? No? All right, come on guys. Who's hiding there under those leaves? Is that you? Okay, I see who you are. Most of all, next week, this one is becoming Bar Mitzvah, so I insist that you all coming back because we've been working very hard, and it's my official Bar Mitzvah in this community, so I think you all should come and really bless him with your presence. He needs it, and we need it, right? Okay. Peter, take off your talit. Let's get those children under there. Okay. All right, come on, it's a little one, but you can all fit. Okay, come over here. May God bless you and keep you. God's light shine upon you, most of all within you. And may God be favorable to you and give you the gift of peace and many blown kisses. So there you go, because that was going on. So I'll be right back. There you go. Okay, here, over a bunch of chocolate. We still haven't got those popsicles ready for you. Huh? I feel like, can somebody, you have one, because I don't know what we're buying yet.
Excuse me.
No, they're all coming. This one, she's allowed to have this, what is it called?
This is just a lollipop.
A lollipop. Okay, very beautiful. You want it? Okay, all the rest of you, go ahead.
Sorry?
Okay, 1, 2, don't take 2 unless everybody's had one, and then you can take as many. Announcements, okay. Oh, hey, someone took 2? Okay, none? Okay, we don't have enough, Russell, we need more. All right.
Announcements, Peter?
Okay. So the SAE UPJ conference takes place in Cape Town over the weekend. We are ably represented by Paul Davis and Diane Fine and look forward to their feedback on their return. Okay, Bon Voyage Alexander family we covered, but they have generously sponsored the brocha tonight, so thank you. Shabbat morning religion school classes will take place as usual in the Stolson building. Classes begin at 9:30. Our Shabbat morning will be led by the Shlichei Tzibur team, in the Gillis boardroom at 9:30. The service will be followed by a potluck brocha. There will be no Talmud study group during July due to the absence of key members of the group. Further ahead, My Little Baby, Sami Project. At Temple Israel next week, there will be a special Mandela Day version of the Samis project next week. Please drop off Samis, fresh fruit, tins, soap, pre-loved clothing, especially for winter, at the shul on Wednesday 24, so that it can be distributed the following day, the Thursday. The ongoing support of this project by those who contributed is much appreciated. The kids and parents of Top Kids Nursery in Mondial have adopted the Sami project on Mandela Day and have been hard at work collecting clothing, blankets, etc. A big thank you to Jeanette and Samantha De Beer and the staff and family of Top Kids Mondial for their support. If you would see the bundle of stuff that they've got together, it is unbelievable. I saw photos of it. Daniel Gilman will become Bar Mitzvah in the main shul at 9:30 next Saturday morning, the 27th. Please join us. Our usual potluck brocha will be served in the Janks Hall after the service. Haley and Louise have arranged for a vendor to serve coffee and pastries for the departing guests from the piazza just outside here. That's it.
That's it, Peter. You did very well for someone who doesn't like to speak in public. Here for Peter. Jessica, I just got, right before services, I had a request if we could do the German Adon Olam. Do you know that one? Shall I lead it? May I do that? It's a friend of mine from Texas who said, will you do this one? And I think you know it. I call it the German Bierstein Adon Olam. You'll find out why. So let's do it. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra let nasa b'chefetzo kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon Olam ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora Adon Olam ve'hu haya ve'hu והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אדון עולם אשר בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם והוא אחד ואין שני לעם שלו להכבירה בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא עוז במזרע אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אדון עולם. אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם והוא אלי וחי גואלים וצור חבלי בצרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי
מנת כוסי ביום מקרא אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אדון עולם. אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם בידו הפקיד רוחי בית אישן והירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדון לי ולא ירא אדון עולם אדון עולם אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם. Okay, I have to pull an earlobe so they know I'm thinking of them. So ask Carol Burnett apparently. Well, people, I don't want to keep you really waiting, but just as I have the pleasure of blessing our children, the same blessing to you as a community, and also to Jessica, who's valiantly allowing the rabbi to sing in and out what she can follow here. So, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'ychunecha, may God's light shine upon you, most of all within you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God be favorable to you and give us all the gift of peace and insight and wonder. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you for giving the Adon Olam away. We're going to the program next week. This one, I don't like to I never knew that, right? I don't like to I know how to duck. I know how to singing, duck.